What's up everyone on YouTube again, this is Madawa with a new video. I go through some characters and teach you a thing or two that you might not know yet. And I don't know how long this one will be, so we'll see. Could be shorter, could be longer. First things first is June's Miare 2 particular. So this move, the laser, the iconic laser, I thought about adding this as well. Leo can always punish this. As you can see, forward 1 plus 2 always. I'm like here, this is like almost a peak range. Something like this. It always connects. So always forward 1 plus 2. Sometimes if you're close enough, you know, you can go for down back 2-4 like this. Which also has good range. See? Which also can be a launcher. So it's either down back 2-4. If you want to be very safe, because there's a range like somewhere like here, where this would whiff, as you can see, then I would opt for the shoulder, obviously. Right, like this. So both works really well. Okay, next one. So next up is Zafina. I want to mention 1-4 quickly. From my testing at least, maybe you guys have other options which works better than what I found, but I'll show you what works after this every time for sure. Just gonna record all the options quickly. So sometimes you see them go for 1-4 on block, and then you don't know what hits them, right? Like the options are weird sometimes, because she is very low on the floor. Best thing to do from what I tested was down forward 1. That beats everything. So here, as you can see, it interrupts the mid. If they go for the power crush, it's very slow, as you can see. So you can still block. Even the crazy thing here is, technically you could go, I think you can even like, you can do back 1 plus 4. This is the crazy thing, but I've never tested it in a match, but I figured it out. So if you do down forward 1 here, you see how she does the power crush. You can quickly do back 1 plus 4 in between, and since you interrupt the power crush, you get a full combo. So here you get the down forward 2 guaranteed. I'm gonna be honest, I've only lapped it yesterday for the video as well, so I didn't know it. I would have to test it in a game, but I don't know how many people would go for the power crush anyways. When she does the mid, you get a full combo here for the float, since it gets out of the air, which is also better than doing down forward 4, as this would whiff here. And then here also down forward 1 floats her out of this, and again another down forward 1 floats her out of this as well. So down forward 1 seems like the best option to beat everything, and you can do some cheeky things with the power crush that she has, if she really goes for it. Next thing I wanted to mention is 1-3, and so wait, if she does 1-3 for example, oops, so this is a classic, right? You get hit by 1-3, it's her 10 frame punish, and then she can opt for this here. There's two things you can actually do. You can either try to go for the very delayed back tempo here, back 3 plus 4, and then 3. The 3 has to be very delayed though, because if you mash it here, you will whiff. And you can do this. This is a smaller punish, obviously, that works. But if you delay it a bit, because she does take a lot of time to recover, you can actually try to like get a full combo here. Also, you can't do this. If you were wondering, you can't do this in the second hit. It's too slow. Or what you can also do is Zabaki. If you have a read on the 1 plus 2 option here, you can also go for that. Unfortunately, the back tempo and stuff, it all loses to the other things, but they often go for 1 plus 2 because it's plus, and it's a good way to continue. And then we have down forward 2 1 plus 2. We also have, I think it was down back 2 1 plus 2 that I wanted to mention. Let me record this again. Oops. So yeah, these two moves are a bit tricky. You have to interrupt them. So basically, let's go for this one first. Down for the 1-2. As you can see, it tracks both sides. You can't do down back 3. I've tried it all. Like, it doesn't work. You can't parry or anything. What you have to do is two things. You can either do down forward 1-2, so like interrupt her here. What's also sick, because Leo, you have a magic 4 that knocks down on counter, so you can do this. Right, that also works. Or you can also go for power crush, but I don't like doing power crush because look at the life you lose. It's a lot. So I'd rather go for magic 4. If I would have to choose, magic 4. It's really good. At the wall, let's see. Yeah, it doesn't splat like that. Anyways, yeah. No, I would definitely stick with magic 4. Really good option here. Okay, one thing I have forgotten that I wanted to mention is down forward 4-1 and down forward 4-2, like these ones. With this one, you can try, like this is the heating gauger. What you can try is, you can set the right here, right? That works. Unfortunately, I don't think you can parry it, no. So you have to either set the right, you can power crush as well. If you want to be very safe, you could also go for 4-2+3 here, because it goes to the right. So both works really well. Or again, just power crush. That works. And against the other one, that's unfortunately kind of the mix-up, because if you try anything here, you can't really do anything. Like, you have to make the read. You could do power crush though. So that's the one thing. If you don't mind eating some damage, this here beats both, right? If you want to have something more juicy, like sidestep launch, then you have to make the read and the decision to commit to the sidestep or to 4-2+3. But again, this loses here, right? Also parry works here, but yeah, I think it's more typical that they go for this move here because it's the healing gauger. So yeah, if you want to be safe, power crush beats both. Alright, Clive Wasfield. What I want to mention here, there's some things actually, this is more detailed with these characters, is some Clive players that like to go into down for the 1-1 string here. And then continue the pressure, and this is the heat string, down for the 1-1. You can parry the second hit. So like, as you can see, the second hit is not a sword, it's a punch. So you can actually parry here and stop this whole thing. It's pretty good. Definitely good to know. I like to do that in heat, so you can react to the down for the 1, look out for it. The other things, Clive players love to go like 1 and 2 here. After this, it's not a bad idea to go for power crush here. If you want to be a bit more safer, obviously, with the new changes, you can definitely sidewalk this as well because it's very linear. And this is a very common way for them to continue after going heating danger, right? While 1 and 2. So keep that in mind. Power crush works, sidewalk also works pretty well here. Also, if they do that in neutral, so like let's say they do this here, you can do power crush as well. The thing is, against Clive you always are doing decisions, like you have to. This here wins, as you can see, because this is homing, basically, pseudo homing. Also this wins, right? Issue is, unfortunately, that's the way this game is. It's not guaranteed, this power crush against everything. He does win against 2 things, but at least you will make him make decisions, right? He can't just mindlessly do it, because this here wins. This here wins, this is Phoenix 2 and the sweep also, sadly. So you have to make decisions, but whoever do it like this, then to keep constant guessing, you know. At least you beat something. And the heat engager one, so like this one, is a very common option from the Clive players. Decent thing to do, stop their momentum. And then we have another heat string. Just looking at the notes. Yeah, okay. So you have this here. Forward 2 to 1. And you have the guard break forward 2 to hold 1. One thing that beats both, and I think that's something I would always do wherever, is forward 2 plus 3. This is the uncharged version, you can see it wins. This is the charged version, also wins. The thing is, there's some cool things, right? You can do something like this, which is sick. This is really cool, but again more risky. Against this here you could also Sabaki technically, but I don't know, with the amount of damage you eat from these things, I like to play the more safer version. This here beats both things, so I'd rather go for this. If I'm really feeling like it, I could say, okay, I'll block this one. I am +9 anyways, so he loses this turn. And then when I see the charged, I could go for down back 3. That's on you to decide. In a real match, because I would be too scared getting clipped, because you have to delay it a lot. I'd probably tempt for this, but that's on you. Okay, against Xiaoyu there's just two things quickly. One is forward 2 on 1 plus 2. And the same move basically, but different way. It's forward 1, 1 plus 2. There's something that is the generic thing to do, which just sets the right here. You can also do, and that's the Leo option, is down back 3. As you can see, crushes it or like evades it really well. Also here, so both works really well. Keep in mind though that they are in backturn after this, so just your combo. And the other thing I want to mention is when they want to go heat, they sometimes like to throw this move, which is back 4-1. I've mentioned it also in my parry video, but I like to mention it here again. You can also again Zabaki in between these two, because they like to do that as a heat engager if they get desperate as well. Just Zabaki it, right? So against Hwoarang, I don't really have like any unique Leo tips. Because it's a very rough matchup, you just have to kind of know your options, but there's no real specific Leo thing that others can't do, so I might just do a dedicated video on Hwoarang himself. What I want to mention is though, when you get hit by waltzing 4-4, right, 11 frame punish, they like to go for waltzing, for down forward 4, here, right foot 4, down forward 4, since it's a frame trap, right? This here is fully guaranteed if you mash into this. So what I like to do every now and then, not always, mix it up. Every now and then I like to just do up back 1 on hit, just so it beats the kick and you get a healing age, alright? Because you parry kicks. You have enough time to beat this frame trap. It's a very common way for Hwoarang players to continue after waltzing 4-4, so definitely good to know. Very good option. But just be careful not overdoing it, because they also like to go for something like this here. Right? Right foot forward, down forward 3. And that obviously beats it. So then you can try to jab, you know, that's fake again. Fully mind game, but at least you can't, the Hwoarang player can't autopilot at that point and always attempt for like down forward 4 frame trap. He has to mix it up himself. Alright, last thing I want to mention is Raven. I've also mentioned that in my kick parry video, but there are some moves against, like, I feel like Raven is one of the few characters where you get the most out of the kick parry if you know your timings and your options. All of these you can kick parry. The thing is, this move, for example, you will see it a lot actually, because it's a safe mid with long range and it's safe, which normally there's not a lot you can do, right? You can't jab, you can't step, you can't power crush. It's just a very safe thing for Raven. But you can, of course, kick parry it, right? So you would see this a lot, because it's safe. They don't risk anything, but they will risk against Leo. So yeah, keep that in mind. Learn that if you see Raven. Down forward 4-4 is a bit tricky. The thing is, with down forward 4-4, he has a follow-up here if you don't interrupt him. So again, you can parry here the second hit. This move on its own is minus 14. The issue is you can continue here, and then yeah, you have to make the sidestep read. Okay, maybe it's left. Yeah, it's left. Okay, so you can sidestep here, but there's no point for you doing that if you can just kick parry the second and interrupt the whole situation. Sick to know. And then you have back turn 2-3 is also safe mid poke from Raven. Yeah, also that you can kick parry. And back turn 3-4 also often used. Same situation as of down for 4-4. You have a third hit. If you don't parry in time, right here, then the third hit will flip you like this if you don't parry here. That's all I want to mention for now. Again, I might do more dedicated videos to the characters, but this is more like a niche thing situation. But it's very important also to know that, because I love the kick parry against Raven in particular, because it's often used. You'll see it a lot actually when you know your things. So yeah, that's all for this video. I hope you learned a thing or two. If you have any recommendations, any feedback, I'll appreciate it as always. And yeah, thank you for watching. Peace out.